College Research Easy Tutorial: How to Find the Best School for You. College research can be a scary task, and it's not easy to know where to start. In this video, we teach you how to go about the whole process, identify your preferences and priorities, find out what works and what doesn't, and submit a winning application. After watching this program, you'll be better equipped to start your college search for real. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. How are you doing today? This is the awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I welcome you. I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or, you know it, vodka. Now let's roll. Today we want to talk about college research, an easy tutorial on how to find the best school for you. Now this show is focused on helping high school graduates or adults who are going back to school find the right college that suits their needs. Now, step one, know your preferences and priorities. If you really think about it, the first step in tackling the college search process involves you thinking about what you really want out of your college experience, right? People go to college for several reasons. Some people want to learn, some people want to have social experiences, some people want to prepare their future lives. It is important that you kind of get what you really need. There are some essential qualities, though, that will set some colleges apart, and you should consider first. I'm thinking about location, the size of the college, the strength of the academic programs, that is the curricula, and the cost. You should also want to think about what you want out of the social scene and the academic climate at your college. Then you can search for schools that fit your needs across a variety of different dimensions, right? So let's just bring this down to a very simple level here. You have two things to think about: primary factors and secondary factors. The primary factors include the location, the size of the college, the academics, and the cost. So location, do you want to be far away or close to home? Really depends. What is your preference? Are you interested in a small town college environment? Do you want something urban? Do you want something rural? Right? Because remember, though, that we're all humans and humans are social animals. So the surrounding area can have a tremendous impact on your happiness and comfort level. Are you more the outgoing type or are you the introvert? Those things should be quintessential when it comes to you choosing your college. About the size, do you like large colleges or small colleges? Because all of those, depending upon the size, you're going to have a different vibe, that's for sure, right? In small colleges, for example, things can get very personalized. You get personalized attention, you seem to know everybody, but the cons are that they have fewer resources and they might have less diversity amongst the students. So you want to research every college individually, and you want to be able to understand what they are in terms of size, right? The pros of a large college is that you have larger resources and more diversity. However, I'm very doubtful you'll get personalized attention. You'll just be a number among a million. You'll just be a drop in an ocean of students here. Now, the strength of the academic curricula. So if you go into college, I mean, most people are going to college to learn something, right? Not just for the social experience or for the sports. You're going to college to learn something. So you want to pick your major, and you want to see the strength of that major, the strength of that college with respect to your major. For instance, if you want to study medicine, is that college very strong in terms of medicine? I mean, in terms of the medical curriculum, in terms of is there a school of medicine? If you go into a university, you want to know how many doctors have they produced in the last 5 years, last 10 years, right? You want to ask around. That's part of the research you have to think about. Also, another thing that is critical is the selectivity and reputation of the college or university, right? So you can see whether they're very strict and selective in terms of test scores and GPA, personal statements, essays, that kind of stuff. The cost. Now, tuition prices are something you definitely. I'm still paying student loan right now, so I know exactly what I'm talking about here. Tuition prices are very important, and you want to think about them when you're doing your college research. Unless you're financially set, your family is, or you have a scholarship, you're fine. But you should work on determining whether cost is an issue for you. If so, you want to focus your search on schools that offer generous financial aid and merit scholarships. You can also investigate colleges with no application fees. That's kind of important. So, folks, that's basically the primary factors, right? Now, as I told you earlier, we have secondary factors. Now, let's go through them real quick. The secondary factors are what I would call the qualitative parts, the ancillary parts, the corollary parts, the social scene. Number one. Now, do you want to be at a party school, or are you more of a library all day, every day type? Right? Are you a bookworm, or are you just a celebrity in making? So the social scene is very important. Are you at all interested in Greek life, fraternities, sororities? Right? Do you want to be able to go out to bars and clubs? So you want to make sure the environment at the school you choose will be a fun place for you to spend 4 years. Next factor, housing. Do you want to be able to live off campus at some point? Because schools may offer more or less variety in housing, so this is definitely worth considering. Universities located in rural areas may have fewer options for living off campus. Dining. This is important to consider because we live in a society where dietary guidelines have to be monitored, have to be followed if you don't want to become kind of have some kind of medical issues due to obesity. So you want to pay attention to your diet. Are you looking for an institution with lots of dining options? So whatever accommodations you need, make sure the schools you choose have the ability to provide them. Extracurriculars. Now, you have to think of any extracurricular activities you want to pursue in college, right? If these are priorities for you, you should ensure that any institution that you are thinking about has the appropriate resources. Now, extracurriculars are a huge part of the college experience for most students, if not all students, and they provide a great social outlet outside of the party scene and classes. And on top of that, it's very healthy, right? We've released a wonderful show around extracurriculars, and we've done an in-depth look into the activities. You might want to check that out and see what's if you like it. We received accolades for the quality and clarity of the content there. So yes, we'll leave a link, and if you need to learn more, just drop us a note. The last secondary factor you want to think about is athletics, right? If you want to play sports, if you want to play sport in college for fun, just make sure that anywhere you apply will give you that opportunity, right? Do you want to work out in college? If this is a priority for you, look for schools that have high quality athletic facilities and give students full gym access. A lot of schools around the country offer exercise classes for students at their gyms. So this is a really great perk to consider. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still talking today around college research. This is an easy tutorial on how to find the best school for you. If you love this clarity, if you love the quality of the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell. We'll surely appreciate that. We're trying to expand our community. We're trying to communicate our content to more people, and share this content with, if you have high school graduates that you know, or adults who are going back to school, share this content with them. Comment below and like this content. Step number 2, search for schools using an online college finder. Now, after you've figured out your preferences, your priorities, whatever you want to do for the next 4 years, the easiest way to find schools is to use an app. You can do it on a smartphone or on the internet, on the desktop, right? You can there are a lot of platforms out there, from College Navigator to College Confidential's, Peterson's, College Board's Big Future, CapEx, College Raptor, Princeton Review, Niche, College Insight, Unigo, College. You have a lot of platforms, and you can specify on each platform things like location, size, public or private, tuition, test scores, major programs, and more in your search. So the tool will give you the online tool or mobile tool will give you all the statistics on different schools and help you locate options that seem like the right fit. Now the thing is that once you have that, you have to narrow down the list up based on what you're really looking for, right? So you want to start with the primary factors. That's what I said earlier. And then you go to the secondary factors. The primary factors will determine the colleges that you need, the college you need to choose. But then if you have 3 or 4 equally, quote unquote, equally attractive colleges, then you use the secondary factors to set, to make a final decision. All right. So you can search for the tools using an online college finder. Step number three, consider admissions chances and reputation. So once you are able to find, let's say you have 2 or 3 colleges, you want to think about your chances of being admitted, of being accepted, right? And you got to think about the reputation of the school also. Now, it is important to understand that in America, only 1/3 of the colleges where you apply should be reaches. In other words, you have a 33% chance of being accepted at any college you apply to. So you have to be very careful and strategic about which colleges you apply to funnily. So the reputation is very important. And then your admission chances. Now, your admission chances are the results from you, right? The results from your background, from your academic strengths, from your GPA, from your high school performance, from your test and scores. All that continuum of performance metrics will tell the admissions committee that whether or not you are a good fit for the college. So you yourself have to know whether or not this is a great time for you. Now, this is also a great time to check rankings lists like US News and Forbes to see whether the colleges that interest you have decent reputations. Now, I'm not saying you should consider those rankings 100%. You have to be very careful, because if 2 schools are within 10 or so ranks of each other, there probably isn't much of a difference in quality between them. Now, rankings are a tool to be used after you've already picked out schools based on other factors, right? The primary factors and the secondary factors. So one thing you need to do here is that you have to, again, think about deep inside what really works for you. One thing you should do at this particular level is to talk around you, to ask people for feedback, right? Do some research on the internet, read reviews, go to forums, go on the internet, go on social media, check out the school's pages, check out the interactions, how they respond to their users or the followers. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic here, and we are about to wrap up today's show. And the step number 4, the 4th step here, is to narrow down the list to the 1 or 2 or 3 colleges that really you want to apply to. It is important at this particular time to understand, because in the earlier steps I've told you about the preferences and priorities. You search for schools, you consider admissions, chances, and reputation. Now, based on all of those factors, you want to pick the 2 or 3. Now, you need to think about 3 things. 3 things, very important things when you want to narrow down your list. You want to visualize whether or not, based on what you want, the kind of academic program or athletic programs you want to follow, whether this school is the right fit. Number 2, are you intellectually capable of integrating that environment? What I'm trying to say by intellectually capable, I mean, let's say you want to do medicine, you want to study medicine, for instance, is that university great at medicine? Do they offer a stellar medical degree, for instance? If so, are you able personally and intellectually to follow the stringent regimen, the stringent academic regimen that the school asks for? Right? Because everybody has different capabilities. Some people are great at one subject, some people are great at athletics or studying or book, whatever it is. So you want to make sure that you have, for the next 4 years, the intellect and the motivation to go through the program. And the third thing that should be very important for you is the strength of the alumni community, your post-graduation prospects. So once you go to the school, once you graduate after 4 years, or you want to do your master's or PhD, what are the chances that doors will be open for you because of the school's reputation? Those are the things that should help you narrow down your list before actually start applying, before writing, filling out the application, writing your personal statements, sending your tests and scores to them. All right, let me just wrap up today's conversation here. I wouldn't be right back. I'm about to wrap up today's conversation. So today I spoke to you about 4 things. So the topic was college research, easy tutorial on how to find the best schools for you. Step 1, know your preferences and priorities. And how do you do that? You have to think about the primary factors and secondary factors. Primary factors include location, size, academics, and cost. Secondary factors include social scene, housing, dining, extracurriculars, and athletics. Step number 2, research schools using an online college finder. Step number 3, consider admissions chances and reputation. Step number 4, narrow down your list. I will talk to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.